Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to jump on here real quick and dispel an argument that I heard the other day. The argument goes that even though the noun in Isaiah 53, this righteous servant, is in the singular, if we look at verse 9, this, and they made his grave with the wicked and a rich man in his death. So this word here is actually in the plural, and so they're trying to argue that this isn't a singular person; it's the nation of Israel. But if we look at the verse right prior to it, one, the singular individual is in the singular, not in the plural. So this righteous servant is written in the singular. And we also, just logically speaking from reading the text, by oppression and judgment he was taken away. And as for his generation, who considered that he was cut off out of the land of the living, stricken for the transgression of my people. So this singular individual, the righteous servant, was killed for the transgression, the sins of my people. Who is God's people? Israel. So Israel can't die for Israel's sins to make atonement. That's the whole point of all of this. So that makes no sense to say it's the nation of Israel, because it can't be, just logically speaking, with the text. But it does present a conundrum. Well, why is this plural? So what I mean by that, if we go back to the Hebrew and look at this word is actually in the plural. And so to see, this isn't the only place in the Old Testament that we see this same thing happening. The noun is singular, so it's a singular individual, but that the death of that individual is plural. We also see it in Ezekiel 28:10, where it's talking about the prince of Tyre, and this is also in the plural. So they're describing his death in the plural as deaths. And so if we actually look it up, it is in the plural construct state. So now we have two instances in the Old Testament, in Isaiah 53 with this righteous servant, and in Ezekiel 28 with the prince of Tyre, that their death is deaths, plural. And so we have to figure out, what does that mean? So you can easily just Google this, but using the plural word for deaths for a singular person does not mean they literally die multiple times. It means, or instead, it is a function of a plural intensity or exaggeration, pointing to a death that is exceptionally violent, painful, shameful, or tragic, which makes complete sense with Isaiah 53 and Ezekiel 28. And so all they're doing when they're adding the plural word deaths to a singular individual is they are saying that his death is so great, so violent, it's worth more than just a singular death because of how bad it's going to be. And that lends to the New Testament, where we believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins once for all. So his death, his atoning sacrifice, as in Isaiah 53, that covers the sins, has to account for all of our deaths. So if someone says, well, this is plural, yeah, it's an intensifier. It makes it to where it shows you that not only is he dying, but his death is so great that they couldn't just use the singular form. They had to make it exaggerated, and that's how they did it in Hebrew, which then goes into the New Testament, where 1 Peter 3:18, for Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the spirit. And then Hebrews 7:27, he has no need, like those high priests, to offer sacrifices daily, first for his own sins, then for those of the people, since he did this once for all when he offered up himself. Now going back, this all makes sense as to why the singular individual has a plural of deaths. I hope this helps. Until next time.